Hello, everyone. So we are back with the next session on interview skills. Now, when we were talking about interview skills, what do you think? In interview, do they only check your knowledge, your skills, or it is a complete package where they check your skills, they check your knowledge, they check your attitude, they check your communication skills. So it is a complete package where body language and all these things matters. What do you think? What exactly, when we go for interview, what are the things we need to keep in mind? Are we just supposed to prepare ourselves for the basic interview questions, and along with that our course related question? Let's say if we are going for marketing job, then we should be aware about marketing terms, then marketing strategies, how to prepare marketing strategies, what things to be kept in mind. Or if we are going for IT sector, let's say if we are going for as a backend developer, as a front end developer, so you just need to know your coding, and if you are good with that, you will be hired for the organization. What do you think? Is it the way how people decide and how the employer hire a candidate? What do you think? See, no matter for which kind of job you are going, whether you are going for your whether you are going for your front-end development, you're going for a job from IT sector, from commerce stream, for arts stream. So whichever stream, for whichever sector, in whichever industry you are going for the job, there are few basic things which are common. Let's say if we talk about the process of the interview, that is common, that first is going to be screening round, screening of your resume. If you're shortlisted, then a personal interview. Once that is done, then they might call you for the detailed interview. Then you might go with the group discussion, you might go with the written test or case study based group discussion. So these are few of the basic things which are the part of all the interview process which happens, irrespective of for what field, for which stream, to which sector you are applying for the job. It is irrespective of the fact whether you are applying for a small company, for a startup, for a big company. No matter for whichever company, for whichever thing you are applying, you have to deliver your best. You have to give your best. So here, in interview skills, in the last session, we were discussing about how to keep it positive, how you can keep yourself positive during the entire interview. You know, positive mindset, enthusiastic person, positive body language, your body movements, all these things play a very important role for you to crack the interview. It is not just about giving answers to the question which they are asking. It is also about presenting yourself best. So that is how you are supposed to answer, and that is how you have to prepare yourself for the interview. Now, how to keep it positive during the interview? And this the first thing which we have discussed was dress the part. When you look good, you feel good. You know, at home, like when the lockdown was going on and there was no scope of going outside, we were just restrained within the boundaries of our house, of our flats. And, we just wanted to do something. We are not having our clothes, we couldn't wear the clothes, but then slowly we decided, we used to wear our 20 clothes, our designer clothes, our favorite clothes. We used to dress up properly just to make ourselves feel good, feel nice. So yes, it is the way by which you can make yourself better. Same way, when you are going for the interview, when you look good, when you feel good, that is the time you are going to deliver the best result. You will be presenting yourself in a very attractive way. So here it is very important that whenever you are going for the interview, you dress up properly, you be attractive. Your dressing, it should be a formal one, properly ironed clothes, properly wearing the clothes. uh, a person, his personality should also be proper. We cannot just get up in whatever way we are and we cannot go for the interview, right? So keep this in mind when selecting your interview outfit. Make sure you are selecting it very carefully, because see, the way you are dressed up, that is going to create your very first impression in the mind of the interviewer. Next, take time to iron your shirts. These are few of the basic things. Though people will say that, yes, we know about these things, we are aware about these things, but still, people do make these kind of mistakes. People know that thing that, yes, we need to wear the iron clothes, we have to look proper, but still, when they go for the interview, maybe in the hurry, they are not prepared and they just simply go the way they are. And this create a very first negative impression. Many times you'll see a person having a charming personality. Maybe he is not the scorer, he is not the ranker, he is not the person who has got very good marks, but still the dressing sense, the confidence which the person carries makes him stand out of the crowd. And that is what you have to do. A interviewer doesn't hire a person with the best of knowledge. There might be 10 people who are the rankers, there might be 10 people who have scored about 90%, but they hire the person who present themselves well, because you are going to represent the organization. This is what you have to make sure, that you are going to represent your organization. And for representing the organization, one need to present himself very well. Be sure to dress correctly for the interview. Business attire is the best thing. You should take care of the proper business attire and dress appropriately, whether you are interviewing in person or remotely. You need to make sure that even if the remote work, let's say the online interview is going on, still for that purpose also you need to dress up very properly. The second one is think positive. Whatever is there in our mind, that will be shown in our action. If we think that we cannot crack the job, we cannot get the job, how are you going to convince the person that you are the best suitable candidate for this job? You cannot convince them until and unless you cannot convince yourself that, yes, you are the right choice for the job. You deserve this job. So until and unless you cannot make yourself understand this, make yourself convince this, you cannot convince them as well. So if you go into an interview thinking that you won't get a job, or that you will get hired or be miserable, it will be hard for you to convince the employer otherwise, right? How many of you agree with this, that if we can convince ourselves, then only we can convince other person. If we cannot convince ourselves, we cannot convince other person also. The person who's taking the interview definitely wants to know that how you are the right choice. Why should I hire you? But if you are unable to convince yourself on the fact that this is the reason you should hire me, that is why you should hire me, how you are going to convince the other person? You cannot convince other person too. So if you go into an interview with the confidence that yes, I am the right choice, yes, I am the best suitable candidate for the interview, then definitely you will be in a state to convince the other person also. Before you walk into the employer's office, take a few minutes to remember a time when you were successful. See, it happens, we get nervous, right? We get nervous. It is the common human tendency. Even let's take the example of the school days or the college days. Even if we deliver the best, if we used to give the best, we used to be very confident that yes, we have done our paper best and we'll be scoring good marks. Still, on the day of result, we used to be very nervous, very afraid what result is going to come. We used to pray, we used to cross our fingers, and lot of stuff we used to do. Same way, it is quite okay if you are feeling nervous that how you're going to crack the interview, what you are going to do in that situation. Take few minutes and think about the time where you were successful, you achieved something. Just think, just recall that time, just think about that time, and then you will see that yes, you have gathered all the courage. So before you walk into the employer's office, make sure you are taking few minutes to remember that time when you were successful. That is going to boost your confidence. That is going to help you to be different. That is going to help you to deliver your best. Whether it was a time when you got a job you wanted, successfully ran a voluntary event, or simply played a great round of golf, whatever you did, let it be, it can be the smallest thing which you did. So whatever you did, make sure that you are just recalling that thing and you are making yourself believe that yes, I can do it. By recalling those things, a feeling of positivity will come around you. You'll be surrounded by the positive thoughts that yes, it is not impossible for me, it is possible. I have done it earlier and I will do it now also. So whether it will boost your confidence and bring positivity, and that is what you need when you are going for the interview. Here you need to understand one more important thing, that interview, showing confidence, boosting your confidence, being productivity is just not limited to the place where you are going. Like, let's say, uh, it is not just restrained to the room in which the interview will be done, when the interviewer will be sitting in front of you. No, it should be shown as soon as you enter the organization. As soon as you step into the organization, you have to come into your interview mode. The way you will present yourself in front of the interviewer, same way you have to present yourself from the very first moment you step into that interview premises till the time you are not out of that interview premises. And that is very important. You don't know who, when, from where, and how is observing you. So make sure you enter into your interview mode as soon as you step into the organization and till the time you leave the organization. Next, focus on your postures, lazy postures, dull postures, inappropriate postures, sliding on the back, leaning on one side, shaking your leg, playing with your fingers, playing with your head. These are the wrong postures. Posture is an important non-verbal form of communication that conveys how you feel about yourself. It is going to convey your feeling. It is going to convey what is at that point of time, what is running in your mind. It is very important to maintain an appropriate posture when you are into the organization. You cannot just use any random posture. Like let's say that you are sitting in the waiting area and you're just leaning on one side, you are just relaxing in a very weird way. So all these kind of postures are never entertained in the organization. They will never accept these kind of postures. The people who do not know how to react, the people who do not know how to sit properly, how they can expect them to be professional when they will enter the organization? Because as I told you, each and every employee in the organization, each and every person in the organization is going to represent your company. And when these people are going to represent your company, that means you have to be very, very proper with your body language, your postures, your gestures, your movements, your dress up. Everything is important. That's why posture again is a very important form of non-verbal communication. Just think, if you are in the interview, you are sitting this way. Let's say you are going for the very important meeting, and there also, what if you use the same posture because it is your default posture? So these things are also considered while they are taking your interview. If you slouch, avoid eye contact, turn your body away from the interviewer, you may come across pathetic or lacking in confidence. Yes, doing all these things shows that you are nervous. These all are the sign of nervousness. So here, if you slouch, if you avoid eye contact, if you turn your body away, if you move back, if you are very discomfortable, if you start playing with your hands, fingers, if you start avoiding doing the eye contact, moving your eyes here and there again and again. So all these things are the sign of nervousness. All these things shows that you are lacking confidence, and that is again not a good sign if you really want to crack the interview. Instead, stand up straight with your shoulders back and look at the employer in the eye. Don't forget that eye contact, it's not just about the interview. Whenever you are communicating, eye contact is something which is very, very important. So this positive posture will make you appear confident even before you say a word. So these things, these postures, gestures, body language are the part of non-verbal communication. And it is not just about the interview. Whenever we are communicating, all these things convey almost 53%, 55% of the message which we are trying to convey. These things speak more than the words we are using. So we need to make sure that we are properly training our body to use as gestures, postures, eye contact, body language. All these things are very important. It's not just the words which leaves an impact on the mind of the people. It is also your body language, postures, gestures, context, voice tone, expressions that leaves an important impact on the mind of the other person. Next point, be an active listener. It says you need to be an active listener. If you're feeling negative during an interview, you might become a bogged down in negativity thoughts that you struggle to focus. Now, if you know, if you are surrounded with negative thoughts, if you think that, oh, I didn't do good, what the people are going to select me, they are going to hire me or not, if you are stuck with those negative thoughts, you won't be in a state to listen, to understand what the other person is saying. So it is very important to avoid these negative thoughts from diverting you from listening what the speaker is saying, because you have to make other person understand that you are paying proper attention. So when you are sitting in the interview room, you have to make sure that no negative thoughts, nothing distractive should enter your mind, which stops you from focusing on what the other person is saying. Practice active listening to make sure you stay focused on the interviewer and understand what she is saying. So active listening means you need to train your mind to not to get distracted on any of the small things, not to divert your mind. If the person is saying, how patiently, how calmly, and how with open mind. Active listening is not just about listening, it is about listening with an open mind and understanding what the other person is saying. You need to stay focused on the interviewer and understand what she is saying. Look at the interviewer in the eyes while they are speaking. Ask clarifying questions and rephrase what they say to ensure understanding. Now here, rephrasing, you might say that, ma'am, when we are rephrasing, what the interviewer is going to think, whether we have not understood. No, rephrasing is going to do two things. One, and both the things, it will be beneficial for you. First, by rephrasing, you will let the interviewer know that yes, you were paying proper attention, you were listening to him carefully. And second, you will just clarify that whether he asked this thing or not. So both the things are in your favor. You will be having a positive impact on the mind of the interviewer when you're going to rephrase the question to ensure what you have understood. So it is one of the way to show other person that yes, I was listening attentively. Because see, what will happen, even if you were listening attentively, but let's say you have not understood the question properly and you give the answer which is not relevant, the interviewer will think that you were not listening properly, though the problem was you didn't understood the question clearly. So to avoid that situation, it is better to rephrase the question, to rephrase what the other person told, and ensure that you have understood the right thing, and also make the other person believe that yes, you were listening to him carefully. Active listening demonstrates that you are engaged and interested in the job. That is what the active listening is going to demonstrate. It is going to show that yes, you are really engaged in the job, you are interested in this job, because you are paying proper attention to whatever he or she is saying. So now the next point is convey a can-do attitude. You have to convey that yes, I can do it, that it is possible for me to do it. So even if you feel like you are not a perfect fit for the job, you do not want to emphasize that during the interview. Even if you get that thought, make sure you are not emphasizing on that thought during the interview. You have to be with an attitude where it shows that yes, I can do it. So always carry that attitude that you are the perfect fit for this job. You are the perfect candidate, perfect choice for this job. Before the interview, draw draw up a list of your qualities, experience that relates to the job requirements as stated in the job listing. You have to see, whenever, for whatever interview we are going, each and every interview will have different set of requirement, different skills, different qualities, different experience. So you have to go through what the interviewer is asking, what exactly they want, and on basis of that you have to list down your qualities and experience that are related, that is going to fit their job requirement. Because you have to show yourself as a person who is best suitable for the job. So before the interview, you have to draw up your list of qualities, experiences related to the job requirement. That should be specifically related to the job requirement, that shows that yes, these are the things which you have done, and that experience is going to benefit you for the job for which you are being interviewed. This way, if the interviewer asks you, you are a good fit for the job, you have a number of reasons and example handy. Because see, this is definitely going to be one of the question which the interviewer is going to ask, that are you the best fit for this job? And as soon as this question is asked, you have to come up with the answer showing your qualities, giving the relevant experiences with that job, showing that yes, I'm the perfect fit for the job, and these are the things, these are the qualities which I have, which will help me to do my job effectively, and along with that, these other qualities which I have. Even if the interviewer asks you if you have experience with a task about which you know nothing, mention your lack of experience, but emphasize your interest and enthusiasm in learning something new. See, here when I'm saying so many points, you just have to understand one most important thing, that interview is all about showing your honest side, along with that putting that in a very positive way, in a way that if you don't know something, you are accepting the fact that yes, I lack the knowledge of the skill, but on the other hand, I am very keen, very interested in learning that thing, in knowing that thing. So basically here you are playing with the words by saying that yes, I do not know that, but I am open to learn that thing. So it is a smart answer. You have to be smart when you are into the interview. It is the smartness which is going to crack the deal for you. It is the smartness which is going to get the offer in your hand. So while having the skills necessary for a job is important, a positive can-do attitude goes a long way. The positive attitude showing that yes, I can do it. I have the capabilities, qualities, experience, skills, willingness to learn something. I have all those things, and with that attitude, yes, I can do it and I will do it. Next point is smile. You all know that smile is a very powerful tool. It can make us come out of any toughest situation, smile. Even when you are not feeling happy, can actually brighten your mood. Just simply smiling, even if you are not getting anything, if you are not feeling happy, if you have not got anything in return, if the things have gone bad for you, but still, if you are smiling, you can simply brighten your mood. You can simply make your day, and not just your day, even you can make with your smile, you can make others' day also. So, smile actually is a very, very powerful tool. Use your smile, use your most powerful tool to grab your opportunity. It is important to show your smile, to use your smile whenever you think that yes, you just want to come out of that situation. So make sure to smiling even when you are not feeling happy can actually brighten your mood. Even if even if you are feeling disheartened about your job search, walk into and out of the office with a smile. Even if you are feeling disheartened, even if you are feeling disheartened about your job search, walk into and out of the office, walk into and out into the office with a smile. So, whenever you think that the situation is getting difficult, just smile and walk out of the office. Yes. Always make sure that when you are meeting the interviewer, you are carrying a smile, you are smiling, and you are meeting that person. And whenever you are going out, no matter how bad the interview was, maybe you have come across any kind of arguments also, whatever, no matter whatever happened during that initial 30, 40, 50 minutes of the interview, forget about everything, shake hands, greet the person, and walk out with a smile. It will put both you and your interviewer in a good mood. So it is a mood booster, not just for you, even for the person to whom you are showing a smile. So make sure that smile, your smile should never go away from your face. It should always be there, no matter how difficult situation you are facing during your job, even if the day was very hectic, carry a smile on your face and you'll just think that how it brighten your mood. It is a energy booster, it is the mood booster when you just carry a smile with you. And the last point is, don't overdo it. Being over friendly or insincere can be off-putting for an interview. Okay, you have to be friendly, but don't be overly friendly. Don't be so friendly that the person starts getting irritated with the things you are doing. Okay, you need to be sincere, you need to be friendly, but over friendliness and insincerity is not acceptable. The interviewer wants to see that you are a real person, and real person do not smile all the time. Yes, I have told you to carry a smile, but let's say you are just sitting and the important discussion is going on. He has asked you something and you are smiling. That also is not going to work. Okay, so he just want to see the real you in you. He do not want to see a person with the artificial thing, artificial looks, artificial smile. No, he just want to see a real person with whom he is interacting, who is giving the interview, because a real person never sits and smile without any reason. You need to be a person who has the reason for smiling, who is smiling because something happened, not just that he wants to smile so he is smiling. No, that should not be there. And Yes, that should not be there. Being a real person, you need to show your real you. You have to ensure that you are smiling, but only when it is actually required. Unnecessary smile, unnecessary laughter is not a good idea to show during the interview. Your goal is to come across a positive and confident without being overwhelming. Yes, you have to show your confidence, you have to show your positivity throughout the interview, but without being overwhelming, without being overconfident. Overconfidence is also not good. So make sure you are not showing your overconfidence, and you are just staying positive, calm, confident, smiling whenever you think the situation is there. Let's say if the interviewer had said something which you need to smile, like okay, the interview question got over and he just said, oh, I think I think he just cracked the joke. Okay, he just was being very sarcastic, very humorous. That time smiling is okay, but see, make sure the smile is a smile only, not a huge laughter. Pretending to be a good mood might be a little easier if you are well prepared for your interview. Okay, you are nervous by default. It is the part of the interview. Nothing to worry about that, or nothing to be. You do not have to be tense. That you are worried, you're tense. No, it's okay. In that situation, if you are fully prepared, then you will see that you are in a good mood, because though you are tense, but still on other side you know that yes, I am fully prepared for my interview. So this way you can pretend yourself to be in a good mood. If you are not prepared, that pretending yourself to be in a good mood again is going to be a challenge. You cannot show yourself confident until and unless you are not confident. Same way, if you are prepared well, you know that yes, you can crack the interview, you know all the answers, you are prepared in all the way. So there you can pretend to be in a good mood easily. Take some time to research the company. So you'll have a few questions to ask your interviewer. See, at the end, interviewer, in all the interviews, the interviewer do ask you that, do you have any question? So if you have researched for the company, if you know about the company, then yes, you can come up with the question which you might want to ask the interviewer. That is only possible if you are thoroughly prepared for the interview. If you are not prepared for the interview, if you have not researched about the interview, about the company, even about the person who's taking the interview, you cannot ask any question about the company. So this is again the part of the research work, which you, if you remember, which I told you, you have to do when you are preparing yourself for the interview. As soon as you get a call that you are being shortlisted and soon the interview is going to be scheduled, the first and foremost thing is research about the company. So that the very first question which the interviewer is going to ask, what do you know about our company? You'll have the answer to that. And for the last question which the interviewer is going to ask, do you have any questions? You will have questions to fire on him. So for both the reasons, for the starting as well as for the ending, for a good start with a good end, you have to research about the company. The interview starts with the company and it ends with the questions related to the company. The only difference is the first question, interview wants to know what you know about the company, and the last question, you want to know something about the company. So yes, so this we have completed all these 7 points, the 7 points under how to keep it positive, how to keep yourself positive during the interview. Now in next session, we will be studying about reasons why being positive is important. So that we are going to study in the next session of interview skills. Any doubts till here? No? Okay, so we are done with the session. We'll have the next session in next 10 minutes. That is the last session of the day. And what is the last session of the day? The last session of the day is goal setting.